Balarama and Krishna visit the Pandavas in the forest. Balarama, disturbed by the stark contrast between the fate of the righteous Pandavas in exile and the prosperity of the wicked Duryodhana, expresses his sorrow. He questions the justice of the world, lamenting the apparent failure of virtue to bring its due reward. Satyaki, witnessing Balarama's lament, suggests that they should not wait for the end of the Pandavas' exile. Instead, he proposes gathering their forces to attack Duryodhana and restore the Pandavas' kingdom by force. He argues that they are strong enough to defeat the Kauravas. Krishna responds to Satyaki's proposal with wisdom, explaining that the Pandavas would never take what they haven't earned through their own efforts. He stresses that the Pandavas are bound by dharma, and their victory will come when the time is right, with their own valor and righteousness leading the way. Yudhishthira, deeply moved by Krishna's words, expresses his alignment with the principles of truth and dharma. He acknowledges that they will fight when the time comes, but will remain patient and steadfast in their exile until then. Bhima, growing increasingly frustrated with the delay in action, urges Yudhishthira to recall Arjuna and immediately wage war against Duryodhana. He passionately argues that they cannot afford to wait any longer and expresses his longing for revenge against the enemies who wronged them. Yudhishthira calmly responds to Bhima's impatience, reassuring him that they must endure their exile with patience. He reassures Bhima that their enemies, Duryodhana and his followers, will eventually fall, and their time to fight will come once the period of exile ends. Yudhishthira emphasizes the importance of following dharma and holding on to faith. The great sage Brihadasva arrives at the Pandavas' hermitage. Yudhishthira, troubled by his long years in exile and the uncertainty about Arjuna's return, asks the sage for guidance. He expresses his sorrow, believing that no one has suffered more than he has. Sage Brihadasva consoles Yudhishthira by recounting the story of King Nala, who faced even greater suffering than the Pandavas. The sage advises Yudhishthira that self-pity is natural, but that he should bear his trials with fortitude. He reminds Yudhishthira that adversity is a universal part of the human experience and that he is not alone in his suffering. The sage Brihadasva narrates the life of King Nala, who was deceived at a game of dice, lost his kingdom, and endured severe suffering, even wandering alone in the forest. Despite his immense hardships, Nala ultimately triumphed, showing that even in the deepest despair, victory is possible with perseverance and strength.
Sage Brihadasva concludes his counsel by urging Yudhishthira to remain strong and patient. He reassures Yudhishthira that, like Nala, he will overcome adversity in the end. The sage emphasizes that the Pandavas have the support of each other, and their trials will ultimately lead to success, as long as they remain true to dharma.